Startup Business Festival 2024 is back and bigger than ever, bringing you a month-long experience from November 1st to 30th.
Charlotte, it is an absolute honor and a privilege to have you right here on our platform for the Startup Business Festival. Before we get into it, Charlotte, I want to ask you, what does it mean when you hear about a 30 days business event? Just straight at the top. What does it mean to you when you hear about a Startup Business Festival that goes on for 30 days?
Well, I think, first of all, it's a great innovation. I think, there is so much to discuss, Geraldo. I mean, you couldn't do it in one day. I've tried to do it in 1.5 days and I can't even do it. So I do think it gives you space, it gives you time to really discuss things and for it to be more in-depth and more meaningful. And I think, every discussion that you have, somebody comes with something fresh and new and inspiring and innovative. And I think you've given that platform now for 30 days to do that. And I think as the days go on, I'm sure more and more people are being inspired and coming forward with ideas and say, we'd like to know more about this and we'd like to know more about that. So I think you really are allowing for that thought process over a longer period of time. So I think kudos to you, kudos to Lucky and the whole team that has put this together. I think it's brilliant and I really want to support it as best as I can.
This is your chance to join leading entrepreneurs, innovators, and change makers from across the continent as we connect, grow, and shape the future of business. With an exciting lineup of keynote speakers, masterclasses, dynamic panel discussions, exclusive product launches, and live showcases, this festival is packed with opportunities to inspire and elevate your entrepreneurial journey. Don't miss out. Register now to secure your spot and be part of Africa's most transformative business event. Let's build the future together.
Social Week at the Startup Business Festival is all about people, empowering them, uplifting them, and inspiring them to make a difference. This week, we're putting the spotlight on social entrepreneurship and the powerful ripple effects that arise when we invest in our communities. From the inspiring stories of young entrepreneurs to grassroots initiatives that tackle pressing social issues, Social Week is a celebration of the positive impact we can create together. We'll dive into topics like youth empowerment, community-driven solutions, and sustainable social change, all through the lens of business innovation. Our goal is to foster connections, ignite ideas, and showcase how businesses and communities can work hand in hand to bring about lasting impact. At the heart of Social Week is a belief in the strength of people, their creativity, resilience, and their power to inspire change. Join us as we build a foundation for inclusive, socially conscious growth, right here at the Startup Business Festival.
And welcome to day 3 of the Social Entrepreneurship Week at the 2024 Business Festival. As we continue our exploration into the impact of social entrepreneurs that have impacted their communities and beyond, today we focus on showcasing the transformative power of youth-led initiatives that drive empowerment, innovation, and leadership. We are thrilled to introduce today's featured guest, Kutlwano Christian Trip Malloy, a multi-award-winning youth leader, entrepreneur, and author. Recognized as one of Africa's most influential leaders, Kutlwano has inspired thousands through his work with the Youth Empowerment Tour that has reached over 12,700 students across the continent. His dedication to promoting African literature and youth leadership through the Readers Are Leaders platform demonstrate his commitment to fostering a culture of learning and empowerment amongst Africa's youth. As a CEO of business leadership firm, Malloy Business Leadership Firm, Kutlwano leads an array of impactful projects, from the Nexus Pro software aimed at supporting local entrepreneurs to the African Inspiration Show and the Youth Fitness Movement. His initiatives not only empower young people, but also highlight the resilience, innovation, and strength of Africa's youth as they step into leadership roles and create change. Today, Kutlano will be sharing his journey, projects, insights, the role of social entrepreneurship. He will just be giving us a little showcase of everything that he is dabbling in. And without further ado, let us welcome the man to our platform. Good day,
Um,
Kutlano. Good day. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sibulelo?
I'm great, thanks. So, without wasting your time, without wasting our viewers' time, I'm handing it over to you. Just take us through your showcase, and I hope they enjoy.
Thank you so much to Startup Business Festival for the opportunity. I think the work you're doing in creating an entrepreneurship ecosystem is fundamentally crucial to driving change in our continent. So really excellent work done by the Startup Business Campus and its inaugural festival. So thank you so much for the opportunity for having me here today. Naka lebitso ke nna Kutlwano Moloi, lekgolo ko le Kotswana, mahlaba go ka lemao, ba re ke nna matla, and I'm grateful to be here. I'm from an organization called the Moloi Business Leadership Firm, which is South Africa's most influential youth business leadership firm. And we have a program called the Youth Empowerment Tour, and it's our flagship program. We actually go to local schools and we teach young people about entrepreneurship. It's actually part of our corporate social responsibility initiatives, and we've been recognized for this program by a couple of platforms like the youth-owned brands in South Africa, as well as 40 Under 40. So that's some of the work we do with the Youth Empowerment Tour, and that's about me. Well, a little story about my journey. I began my journey of social entrepreneurship back in 2022. So that's precisely 2 years ago. And the reason why I began my journey of social entrepreneurship is because we realized that in Africa, there's a lack of leadership tools. Young people in our communities are not taught how to become effective leaders. And this creates a lot of problems. Problems such as unemployment, problems such as our economy is failing. So us as a leadership firm, we thought that, you know what, let's create this formation that will position itself as an industry leader that will help empower young people across township communities, equipping them with the necessary skills they need for them to start their own business and personally develop. So that journey really got us into incredible spaces. We got nominated by a couple of platforms such as the 40 Under 40 South Africa, the South African Hero Awards, and a list of many incredible platforms that recognized our work. So that's some of the work we do with our project. And the Youth Empowerment Tour, it's basically the solution or our solution to solving the problems in Africa, because we know Africa's plagued with unemployment from the north all the way to the south. We know that the social issues, the economic issues that are plaguing Africa are really deep. So as an organization, we thought that, you know what, let's form this formation that will then empower young people. So that's some of the work we do. Let me just dive straight into my presentation today. So So what we do, we basically a dynamic and innovative business leadership firm that's focused on empowering the youth, businesses, and individuals to reach their full potential. Our core areas of expertise include youth development, business consulting, leadership training, and personal development tools to foster economic and social change. Our mission is to create a positive impact by nurturing the next generation of leaders and fostering sustainable growth in businesses and communities. So we plan to do this by, let me just give you a bit of our history so you have an understanding of where our organization comes from. Our leadership team, qualified staff of business advisors, and critically acclaimed agents of change have hosted and participated in skills development workshops, political forums, business conferences, leadership seminars, and self-development retreats and local school tours to equip upcoming generation. Our social media platforms have officially listed us as the most trending youth organizations in South Africa in 2022, making us an emerging leader in our industry and trend-setting company with an estimated reach of 25,000 people impacted by the services we offer as a company. Because of our engaging social media content, free educational resources, comprehensive online training, and interactive media show and key insights from our industry professional. Using this digital strategy, we've established a dedicated community of 7,000 entrepreneurs, leaders, and inspirational change agents across different fields and industries, actively making a contribution to the growth of our economy. So one of our key goals, right, is that we want to be at the forefront of Pan-African radical economic transformation and providing innovative solutions to the pressing socio-economic challenges faced by developing countries today. through our training of effective leadership methods, sustainable business management practices, skills, and widespread development programs designed to positively impact society, we aim to advocate for personal growth at all levels of an organization and community to cultivate high human beings that are capable of contributing to the advancement of Africa. And we plan to do this by introducing Pan-African leadership solutions, profitable growth strategies to emerging local markets, innovative digital transformation methods, sustainable business management practices, and effective personal development approaches designed but not limited to the youth for the youth. We want to become the perfect environment to stimulate the expansion of African businesses, leadership ability, career, community, specialized organizational institutions, and overall personal growth. And one of our goals is that we want to train 300,000 youth leaders by 2026, produce at least 1 million entrepreneurs by 2030, and transform 100,000 individuals through our personal development by the year of 2028. So some of the awards we've got in this organization is that three of our leaders, including myself, are recognized at the 40 under 40 class of 2023 in the industry of education, consultancy, and the arts. We also have a leader who was recognized by the Forbes 40 under 40 class back in 2021. Her name is Buntla Tola for outstanding work with the innovative health and wellness brand called Bar Health. We also had Miss Adila Naidu, who was recognized the Elite Global Business Awards at the 40 under 40 honorary in Turkey in Europe. And we have Marcia, who's won the South African Social Media Awards in 2023, and a list of other accolades, as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen. So, our main service is that we're a youth organization that specializes in business management skills, leadership training, and self-development tools for economic and social change. So for our leadership training, some of the services we have is that we have things like executive coaching, team building and conflict resolution, communication and presentation skills, emotional intelligence and training, and many more. And regarding the youth development segment, we have leadership and personal development workshops, mentorship and coaching programs, entrepreneurship training, and then for the business consultancy aspect of our organization, we have strategic planning and execution, process optimization and efficiency, market research and analysis, strategic development, as well as business analysis. And in terms of the personal development workshops and tools we have, is that we offer online courses on well-being and mindfulness. We have self-assessment tools and goal-setting resources, as well as ebooks and educational content. So this is where we dive deeper into our services regarding now the business aspect of our organization. So some of the things we offer people or any client that might seek to work with us is that we have things like such as market research and analysis. So our team of qualified consultants actually analyze your market, they do research, and they send you a report that will lead your business planning and strategy. We also help organizations and companies in terms of fostering partnerships and collaborations, as well as investment support and funding, sales and marketing strategies, digital and e-commerce solutions, business process optimization, export and international expansion, training and capacity building, as well as mentorship and coaching. We also offer, as part of our leadership services, as I stated previously, executive coaching programs, leadership development workshops, organizational culture assessments, team building retreats, talent development, strategic planning and execution, leadership assessment and selection, change management consultation, leadership resource library, and we also offer leadership keynote speeches. And as part of our personal development services, we have things such as life coaching, personal assessment and goal setting, emotional intelligence training, mindfulness and stress management, personal branding and image consulting, time management and productivity enhancement, confidence and assertiveness building, career development, personal finance and wealth management, as well as wellness and health coaching. So that is what we do as the Malloy Business Leadership Firm. We are at the forefront of helping organizations within the community expand and scale. We believe that Africa is at the dawn of a new renaissance, and that renaissance is a business renaissance. And at our organization, we want to drive that renaissance forward, and we want to bring change within our communities, and we want to ensure that there's effective leadership programs that are stimulating growth and continental transformation.
Okay, is my mic back? Sorry, sorry about that. My mic was disconnected for a bit. Can you hear me now, Kujana?
Yes.
All right. No, I'm just saying, there's 5 questions that I have for you that I'm going to ask you because of your expertise and because you're an entrepreneur, just so that our audience gets to know you a little bit better and they get to know the kind of business that you run a little bit better. We've seen the
Yes.
showcase, we've seen the services that you render, but we also want to get to know Gudrun the person. So you've
All right.
impacted thousands through your youth empowerment tour and Readers Are Leaders platform. What has been the most rewarding aspect of seeing young people engage with your initiatives?
With regards to the youth empowerment, so I think the incredible feedback we've gotten there that we were able to see around about 5 to 10 entrepreneurs within the local community who were doing matric last year, who were then able to then start their own businesses this year. So we thought that was really huge progress because we got like grade 12 students who were studying, and who couldn't get space into universities. And instead of them sitting at home, they thought to themselves, you know what, let me start a business of my own. So we have one youngster called Mzuvukile from Zola. He started his own restaurant and where he sells chisanyama, and he employs about 3 to 4 young people. So for us, such feedback shows us that, okay, this program is actually impacting young people. And it's actually not just that, but also developing the economy of South Africa, because we know that South Africa is a country rated like the number one in terms of unemployment. So when we see our program empower young people like this, helping them start businesses of our own, we are working then towards the national development plans and towards industrializing our continent and actually empowering our people. So that's just one positive aspect we got from the youth empowerment tour. And in terms of the Readers Are Leaders platform, one of our leaders in the firm, Faith Mukubeko, she actually launched a library in Pumalanga, an e-commerce library, and she had like companies like Shoprite supporting her. So through the Readers Are Leaders platform, we're then able to empower such leaders to then open their own libraries within their own communities and promote the culture of reading. Because as we know, South Africa, there's really low levels of literacy. So us promoting reading is actually helping us stimulate a more educated and actually building a knowledge society.
Which is a great thing. Building and making sure that we have the capacity to make the next leaders is always something that we're looking forward to, that we are trying to make sure that the capacity is there for people like you to help facilitate that kind of growth, which is beautiful to see. So we're going to ask you another question. With your multiple awards and recognitions, including the FOIA and the 40 under 40, what has been the biggest learning experience that you as a leader and especially as an entrepreneur in Africa have had?
Can you please repeat your question? I just want to put it in context.
I'm just saying, with your many recognitions and your multiple awards, what has been the biggest learning experience for you as a leader and an entrepreneur in Africa?
Um, there is a demand for excellence in Africa. And due to the lack of proper and specialized education, we have not taught to pursue that excellence as young entrepreneurs. So the biggest lessons I can share with the audience at home and everybody watching at this prestigious platform is that it's important for us to not be comfortable with mediocrity. It's important for us to rise our standards of performance in whatever endeavor you do, whether you're in the arts, whether you're in the professional services, whatever you do, make sure that you give it your best. Make sure that the level of quality in whatever you're producing is always at the highest, because in Africa, there's a lack of that. You'd be so surprised how many people are mediocre, that by you just rising your standards, you just increase the bar for everybody else. So for any entrepreneur listening at home, let's forsake mediocrity. Let's pride ourselves in excellence. Let's pride ourselves in delivering good jobs and producing work at the highest quality. And the market, the global market, is waiting for African entrepreneurs with brilliant ideas who will not settle to mediocrity, who will take their brands on a global level and seek to compete in that market. Yeah.
Let me actually ask you a follow-up to that. So for you, what do you think excellence looks like, especially for the African entrepreneur? What does it look like? What should they model it after? For those who are listening and are listening to your words and are taking it to heart, what does excellence look like, especially in the African context?
In terms of what does excellence look like for an entrepreneur, it looks like Let me make an illustration with chopping down a tree. It looks like taking an axe and just chopping down the tree at the very same position over and over and over and over and over again until you perfect it. So to put it in context, what does this mean to an entrepreneur? It means that if you are a fashion designer, if you are a chef, it means that you need to practice your craft over and over and over again until you reach a level of mastery where even the master's unaware of his own mastery. You know, a guru is not aware that he's a guru; he just is. And in terms of now to African entrepreneurs, we're saying that master your gift to the point where you're unaware of your own mastery. You're so good at what you're doing that you're unaware of how good you actually are. So yeah, I think to me that's what excellence looks like: mastering your craft.
Mastering your craft. So that's something that our entrepreneurs need to take note of. Let's pivot back to the kind of things that you have been involved in. So the Nexus
Yeah,
Pro software and the other projects that the Malloy Business Leadership Firm showcase, they showcase innovation across
yeah.
various sectors. So how do you identify or prioritize areas where leadership can make the most impact?
Yeah, so with our Nexus Pro, it's actually a groundbreaking software that we partnered up with an organization from Durban called BNE Design Firm, led by Vanilla Mankaya. And with the Nexus Pro, our aim is that we are trying to make business management softwares accessible to local entrepreneurs. We know that local entrepreneurs, particularly in the townships, lack the resources and tools for them to actually elevate and go to the next level. So what we've designed with the Nexus Pro, with the Nexus software, is that we've designed a business management software to help an entrepreneur operationalize and basically operationalize and systematize all their processes under one tool. So the Nexus Pro allows you to connect your Google My Business. It allows you to connect your emails. It allows you to connect all your relevant social media handles and details. It's basically a software to help you manage your business in terms of the digital and administration side. And we realize that it's important, the software, because a lot, particularly black entrepreneurs, are not exposed to such technology. Such technology is only available to a certain demographic or certain percentage of people, and the majority of entrepreneurs, particularly in the township economy, don't have access to such tools. So our collaboration with BNE Design Firm is to take the software, put it into local communities, put it into your township entrepreneurs, help them understand the technologies they need to compete in the fourth industrial revolution. So that's some of the work that we're doing with the Nexus Pro, and we want to really, really impact the processes and the scalability, profitability as well of African and Black entrepreneurs in our communities.
So they've got the software that you are creating, they've got all these tools that are out there. But I know that you're also a champion of African literature. So I'm going to ask you a very pointed question. What do you think the role of storytelling is in shaping the future of African leaders? And how can young people leverage literature for personal growth?
There's a famous quote. I don't know who said it, but it's a quote that's been circling around in modern academia, right? And the quote says, "Until the lion can tell its own story, the story of the hunt will always glorify the hunter." And I think that point emphasizes storytelling and its power so much, right? To say that until African entrepreneurs and African writers capture our own story, our narratives will always be told by our oppressors. So the role of storytelling is fundamental in identity, right? You are who you are because of the stories your parents told you. So the lack of indigenous and African stories that we get, the lack of identity we as Black people have. So storytelling is really at the crucifix, right, of taking Africa forward. Because look at America right now. The reason why America is a thriving economy is not because of its resources, but it's because of its media, its ability to portray a story, its ability to create a brand. Storytelling, it's our ability to create brands in a business context. And African entrepreneurs right now need to start focusing on creating brands, right? And a brand is not necessarily what you deliver to a customer, but a brand is a representation of a promise that you're telling your customer. So there's not enough representations coming from Africa. and representations, because earlier on we touched on excellence. There's not enough excellent brands emerging from Africa. So that's the work that our whole firm does. Our whole firm is there to ensure that we train African businesses, we train African leaders so we can produce high quality brands that are going to compete in the global market. We need to start now as African entrepreneurs taking control of our story. And the way we take control of our story is to understand that right now media has been decentralized. Media is no longer traditional, where like now we're supposed to, be published by certain publications or appear on certain platforms for you to be relevant. We have, diversified media such as platforms like this, YouTube and social media. So anybody can tell their story. The thing is, right now we have so many tools to create our own empires as entrepreneurs. But now, what's lacking is the will. What's lacking is the execution. The tools are there. What's lacking in entrepreneurs now is the execution to implement the knowledge. Right? They say knowledge is not power, but the execution of knowledge is power. So we need entrepreneurs now to start executing. We need entrepreneurs now to start implementing, because the answers in software, everything is already there. We need to start now doing things. Yeah.
Which is a beautiful, beautiful way of looking at it. Now I'm going to ask you the final question, and it's more of an impassioned question. You've dedicated your work to youth empowerment and leadership development across Africa. What advice would you give to young entrepreneurs aspiring to make a positive impact in their communities?
It's important to discover your why, right? And we talk about these concepts such as discovering your why or finding your purpose quite vaguely, right? So I'm going to try to break it down in this particular platform. So, in finding your purpose, we usually advise young people that, first of all, understand what your passions are. So, passions is what fires you inside, it's what you love doing, right? And then once you identified your passion, secondly, identify now what are your talents, right? Because you might be passionate in something, but you might not be talented in a particular endeavor. You might be passionate in sports, but you might not be a great athlete, right? So it's about now finding what you're passionate at, and then finding what you're talented and good at, and taking your passion and talent and mixing it together, and that becomes your purpose. So for a person like me who likes speaking, who likes leading, it makes sense that I do what I do, right? It's both fits my passion and it fits my talents and gifts. So for any young person who wants to make impact in their communities, it starts by understanding what your purpose is. Because leadership, particularly transformational leadership, it's inside out. It needs to begin from inside of you. So you need to find what drives you inside as a young leader, as a young entrepreneur, what solution you want to solve. And then once you've identified that, I think it'll make it much easier for you to align yourself with people who are on the same wave frequency as you are. Then you can be then able to execute at the highest level. So that's what I can tell any entrepreneur who seeks to make a difference in their own community. Because remember what Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in our world. If we are not going to be the ones who are actually going to make the difference in our communities, who is? I think too many times we have the spirit of we're waiting for the next generation, waiting for someone else to do the work, but we at home, we have solutions, we have ideas, but we're waiting for someone else to implement it. So, as I said in my previous point, all the information, all the tools are out there. It's just about us doing things.
All right, yeah. Discover your why. That's what I've taken
Yeah.
from your impassioned speech. And I just want to thank you for your time and thank you for being so candid with us. Thank you for letting us into the various projects that you are involved in. Um, Thank you for availing yourself to have this conversation with us. And we welcome you all the time to our platform. So um, maybe in the future we'll have you again, and maybe it will be a different setting next time. But yeah, I just want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you and the work that you do.
Thank you so much for the platform. So much. As I said, thank you to Startup Business Festival. Thank you to Startup Business Campus for all the incredible work you're doing. Thank to Angie for actually having me here, suggesting me that I come here. Thank you so much, and yeah, Agnes. And for as of me, my last words, follow us on all our relevant social media platforms. My name is Kutwana Moloi at Evolutionary King, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. I think I didn't do justice on my presentation. So if you really want to know more about the work we're doing, just follow me on all the relevant social media platforms. The presentation is much, much better there, trust me. And yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity.
So yeah, you guys heard where to contact Kudrano if you want to know more. But as for us, you can also keep the conversation going on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, of course, and of course on LinkedIn. Just search Startup Business Festival, um, and also use the hashtags SBF 2024, and the second hashtag is LaunchFest 2024. With that, I'm wrapping up today's session. Keep tuned. Obviously, we'll see you tomorrow.
Social Week at the Startup Business Festival is all about people, empowering them, uplifting them, and inspiring them to make a difference. This week, we're putting the spotlight on social entrepreneurship and the powerful ripple effects that arise when we invest in our communities. From the inspiring stories of young entrepreneurs to grassroots initiatives that tackle pressing social issues, Social Week is a celebration of the positive impact we can create together. We'll dive into topics like youth empowerment, community-driven solutions, and sustainable social change, all through the lens of business innovation. Our goal is to foster connections, ignite ideas, and showcase how businesses and communities can work hand in hand to bring about lasting impact. At the heart of Social Week is a belief in the strength of people, their creativity, resilience, and their power to inspire change. Join us as we build a foundation for inclusive, socially conscious growth, right here at the Startup Business Festival.
No way. no way.